Thank you very much. We like you too, Puckett. And yeah, we had so much fun the last game, we thought we would do a Drake and go back to back. This one, though, is an interesting one for me. Obviously, our champions from the last major up against New York, who haven't looked as good in recent times. Even the last major, they got a top 4, but only beat Røkkr and Vegas. This is all about turning up at the end of the season. Thieves done it before. Can New York do it this year?
Yeah, that's the real question, man. Like New York Subliners, or you win the first major, cool. You fall off the next following, but then you bounce back a little bit at Major 4, but you weren't really playing the toughest competition. Now your toughest competition is in front of you in the LA Thieves, who are our most recent champions, and you're going up against them on a HyDra hardpoint with, like the Des said on it, last 8 times that they have played it, they have been able to walk away with it. So New York, they're a great respawn team, but LAT sometimes are just a little bit better. Can't wait to see how this one plays out.
Well, let's see. It is interesting between these two teams. Obviously, we've spoken before about where we kind of rank all these two teams, and not only these, but everybody else in the wider kind of facet of it. Toronto always dangerous. I feel like nobody's spoken about New York being that dangerous in recent times.
Just because we expect more out of this team. And you come out and win the first major, you set the tone early on throughout the year. And then you let a couple slip-ups, a little bit of travel mishap at Major 2. Major 3, you get top 12, you get early eliminated. So it's all about perfecting your gameplay, taking your gameplay to a whole different level. And there's no better test than going up against the LA Thieves. Already into the P1, though. 17 seconds going in favor of New York. They were the team that started off on the better side, but they have been able to maintain the spawns for the next hill, finding all the kills in the feed. Exactly what you want to do if you are NYSL.
And this might be the difference maker himself. KiSMET already 4-1, 5-1. Doesn't see the player up top, Røkkr, but just keeps running around. He knows someone's around here and doesn't get the kill against Kenny. But what they are doing is holding them back as HyDra will now go to work himself. They are keeping LA Thieves on the back foot.
Yeah, LA Thieves are consistently spawning across the map. They're trying to find their way in, but New York are setting up beautiful crossfires to find all the kills. Priestahh finds 3. Drazah at least takes down 1. And the close spawns are now going to be in for the Thieves. A little bit over-aggressive if you are New York. The SMGs are all the way across the map. You're going to allow LA with the numbers to find a break and walk away with this final 25.
Yeah, 20 they really wanted as well. It took them a lot of time to get there, and they certainly weren't getting the kills. But the question is now, is this going to be a break for them already? Kenny's gone deep, but they are overwatching, and HyDra's gone fishing and finds him.
That's a big kill for HyDra to pick up. Kenny was trying to be the route man in that situation, but you're creating layers to allow our teammates to soak up a lot of this P3 time. Once HyDra drops, now you know the front push is going to be open. You have to try to take control of top warehouse, but there's already players here from the Thieves. Envoy being the playmaker on the opposing side, already on a 3 spree, and he's not slowing down.
And this is what they want, get the kills back in their way. And they're just putting the pressure on towards the back spawns here. They do not want to flip at any point, but here comes New York. They've got the kills, they've got the numbers, they've got the clear, and just completely wiped them out at the point there in the end. And Thieves get the back spawn, the spawn they don't want.
Yeah, this is not the best case scenario if you are LA, but at least your teammate stays alive on the opposite side of the map. Kenny's at least able to influence one spawn for Octane to find that rotation. But his teammates keep getting slayed out. They're spawning out towards the warehouse. A huge one-on-one across the map. Skyz is able to win it. Would look like to be LA Thieves in control off the rotation. Subliners spawn in at the right time, find the kills, and now win another one over towards the B4.
Really is a disaster. Thieves thought they might have a little bit of sun in the sky, but just don't have the spawn as well. Kenny gonna find Skyz, but super weak, will eventually fall himself. Envoy gets another one in towards Ruins. They're trying to keep it competitive, but they need just a gap, a break here at the time. Octane already finds the first. New York Subliners pushed all the way back towards their spawn as the pressure multiplies tenfold, and Thieves find the break.
And that's how Thieves do it. That's how they do it on HyDra hardpoint. They are the worst team in rotations, but when they are getting W's, it all comes in the breaks following the holds. Thirds in that first category, second in the hold percentage. As this final 30 is going to be theirs. Nail bite off a hard point to start us off. It's going to be New York winning the rotation again. But it has to be a better setup this time around. You cannot allow the Thieves to find the easy break. And already, that's 3 players versus 2 towards the back end.
And for LA Thieves, the coaching staff might just sit there and say, hey, maybe we just try rotating for once. Maybe that'll help us out on this one. Pretty simple, but easier said than done. Right now, New York again on the rotation, again holding against the Thieves. Points on their favor.
And Skyz is making plays. Skyz is the guy lining it up with the AR in hand, blocking the spawns as well to not allow any of the LAT players to spawn behind them. And so far, this has been a flawless hold from the Subliners. Skyz did not have the best series yesterday, but he has completely forgot about it. On a 5, making a 6 free, earned yourself a cruise missile, young man. And now with only 20 seconds left, it's a battle off the rotation. Back to P1 we go.
With vibing, Skyz is rotating himself. He's gone back to Dome. Won't be in the gunfights for a while, but it's an influential play. New York continue to run the score up here against LA Thieves. And now as we go back from P1 to P2, it's basically a mirror match to the start. LA Thieves, though, have found a few crucial kills already. They're spawning them back P3. Priestahh holding down the fort, though.
And Priestahh trying to watch that cross, not allow any players from LA to cross over towards the Dome side, but that's the worst case scenario if you are New York. You rotate early at about 15 seconds, but everyone loses their gunfights. So now you have to try to keep them off of this P1 hill and flip those spawns going in towards the P2. As they're just trying to find an opening. Trades go back and forth, but New York look like they have been able to stabilize for now. They're back on the point.
Octane going to find the first as well. That is an outrageous challenge that he gets away with close range with attack, taking matters into his own hands.
Look at the
This is crucial. Number 7, Skyz is all the way towards the back, and HyDra gets a kill as well. It's a disaster here for Thieves.
Oh, Thieves, I don't know if they're going to be able to read this scenario because multiple players now from the Subliners spawn out towards P2. Skyz gets a little bit blessed by the COD gods and is able to win the rotation for free. Now you're forcing the Thieves to find another break. The routes they're currently hitting 2 through Ruin side. You have Octane swimming, going for the long route, but New York, they have read it all. They have read every single angle. They find all the kills in the feed, and they are just running up that score line.
And KiSMET has that dog in him. He might be barking, but let's find out how the Subliners are talking with the New York Subliners. Listen in.
Watch my front.
Steps. They're
I might miss here. Help me front. Help me front.
Oh,
Flank these guys.
No, elbow.
Watch my back.
Get kills. Yeah, just get kills. You're good.
Yeah, no, there's 2-0, bro.
Hold on, I'm gonna back up.
Wait,
One's wait on me.
Alright, they're going through that. I spawn over, bro. I'm going to left.
Wait, one shot. I got one. Wait,
Nice. One more P1.
One P1.
I'm fighting this old, bro.
I'm back.
He's gonna be front side. I'm waiting for
They
him.
kiss one P5. Want some more
He's not beating me, bro.
shit.
I'm weak.
I'm
They're spawning out. They're spawning out.
Looking for Octane. I got one.
One's
I'll pitch behind. Stay alive from P5. Yeah, he's back rock.
I'll kill him. Dead.
Nice.
One's P1 on me.
I'm
gonna cut pick. He's dead.
Wait, should you back up? Okay, I'll block.
I'm cutting mid. I'm just cutting the hill. I got time.
Last guy was old. They're all spawning over.
Yo, watch Dome. Watch the Dome for me.
Trying to help you. Just help each other.
Okay, got him.
Nice. Stay alive, person.
Dome, one shot.
I still only got one out. I have your dome. I'm looking at my pit water. Dome dead. Nice, dude. One more pit cut. Wait for P1. You can walk. P1.
Two P1.
I'm bumping up.
P1.
Maybe Pete,
I got stun.
Watch my top. They're gonna me. I'm gonna pinch P5. Block. They're bumping me, guys.
I got one.
Pete, one shot. Pete, one shot.
And go bottom door.
Bottom door. He's outer pipe.
Yeah, stay down.
Outer pipe. One shot. Outer pipe.
P2, the guy
Calm down. Outer pipes.
I'm pushing up. Can see the spawner.
Yeah, he's one shot pipes. Yeah. Oh, hard block. I'm backing up. You guys go. One more in the back. They're all spawning out, bro. I'm blocking P2. Okay.
I'm just holding bridge. Yo, he's on the mid
I'm blocking both spawns, guys. We're missing sand.
I'm helping.
Probably taking it around. I'll get left.
One ult. Two.
Actually, I'm not getting left. One's a hard block out. Yo, keep rotate out spawn. Push bottom.
Yo, careful.
Rotate. Oh, they're in the back. They're gonna be the back. They're probably dome. They're
gonna spawn behind you still.
Out the back dead.
What could be dome spawns, right?
Okay, I'm reflecting down.
Alright, so I'm blocking them. You're blocking.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I'm blocking.
Alright, keep coming to the back. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that KiSMET is single-handedly running around this map, slaying, or the comms from New York Subliners. Calm down as they look for these players. It is making the difference here against Thieves.
Yeah, you can hear the difference in the listening. And as soon as we jumped down into it, all the energy was super high. And with KiSMET bringing everyone back down to earth, let's calm down. This game is far from yet done. And that's what's been able to run up the score line. Subliners are the #1 team in rotations, going up against the number 12 team in rotation. And so far, that has been the story of the game. You're set up early for the hill. You're getting the preferred spawn. You're setting up properly. And that's why New York are currently up by 100 points. Now you're forcing LA Thieves to hit that early rotation over towards P5. And New York are already in a position to contest.
It's just been difficult every single step of the way for Thieves. They've never looked in control of this game, and that's why the score is so far apart. Priestahh waiting for the player. He knows he's going to be here towards the back. They're looking for a perfect break. Priestahh's got to be careful. He knows he has no dead silence. He doesn't want to make too much noise around here, but with the guns echoing off the walls, doesn't matter. Priestahh will find one, but the rest of his team are there.
Yeah, the rest of his teammates, they spawn across the map, but with him finding that second kill, Skyz is going to spawn towards the back of the warehouse. So now it's a 3v3 all around the hill. Priestahh is still finding kills, but his teammates are not finding any. He's blocking the spawns, but you have to find a break in towards the hard point. As the game is getting scrappy, trays go back and forth, but New York are finally able to get in.
It's running out of ammo there before he can find a kill. And you are right, these two teams still slugging out on this one, but unfortunately the rest of the map has not been this way. LA Thieves are seriously down. There is a potential though. P1 to P2, if you can chain these three hills together now, you'll be screaming back into this game.
Yeah, LA Thieves, they are setting themselves up properly to fight back into this game. Currently a 65-point game. Cruise missile is now going to get invested from New York. They know that none of the players are in a position to at least contest this P1 for quite some time. You do have Skyz working his way all the way around P2 side, but LA Thieves, they're soaking up all the time. You have to contest this if you are New York. They find 3 kills, they get another break.
And this game could be over. Let's find out how the LA Thieves are going to deal with it. With an LA Thieves, listen in.
Supposed to be out here. Mount it. We gotta get this time. You went to low dome. Alright, I'm gonna let it in. Y'all gotta get that guy. I'll mid on me already, bros. He already mid stairs.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen. I am still alive on the 5. Yep. I have you. I could be. I'll leave. That's water.
He has a streak. That's weak. Alright, Paco's got a streak. Mid, brother. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to play it mid. I'm breaking.
Yeah, good job.
I'm saying I'm gonna go low right. And top dome. That's 2. Alright, one's dome, one's time, we're missing the other one. I stunned it. I got one here.
He's got it.
Nice, got it.
Got it. Done. I know.
Couple of sighs of frustration there from the LA Thieves. They know they've got an uphill battle. They lose the spawn, they lose the kills, and now they've got to go 8 seconds until this map will end, Sonny.
And I think it's all done, Bryce. I think it's all done. The New York Subliners come out in map number 1, win a majority of their rotations, set up perfectly around these hills. I know LA Thieves, they've been hating on the last couple of times they have played HyDra. But versus a team like New York, who just stick to the fundamental game plan, we get the better spawns, we put ourselves in a better setup. You have the ability to break with about 30 to 35 seconds. You can take that junk time. Don't worry, we will be able to set up for the next. And that was a story about all game 1. As the Subliners able to walk away with the map, wanted a convincing victory. But I think the biggest standout player was KiSMET, man. I was really focused before the map even started on the battle between KiSMET and Envoy, the guys who are going to be hitting the water routes, the guys who are the playmakers. As you see KiSMET just absolutely take over with that SMG, a minute 11 in the hill, almost 4K damage, 26 non-traded kills. The Bulldog came out to play early.
Yeah, heavy slaying, heavy playing, and the problem with Thieves is sometimes you've got to rotate. Realistically, break it till you make it might work, but you're fighting into horrible positions over and over again. They are talented, they can make the gunfights, they can make the kills. But if you're doing it every single hill, eventually something is going to fail.
Yeah, I think you got to go back to that second P1 to P2 chain. When LA Thieves were finding all the kills through the middle of the map, but them being the aggressors, decided to push up past that 50-yard line. You give Skyz the free spawn towards the back, and basically bless New York Subliners with a rotation over towards P2, which is a very, very difficult hill to break in. For the rest of the game, it was just catch-up. It was just catch-up, but New York were always ahead of the game. So now they find themselves up 1-0 in this series. Going into a search and destroy that the Des touched on it. It's been nightmares for them as of recent.
Yeah, it has. And I'm trying to figure this one out in terms of context. Realistically, there has been things said before that sometimes Thieves don't turn up in qualifiers, but last time they did, right? 4-1 going into the major. It showed us they can win the championship. What does this mean if New York come out against a strong LA Thieves here? Obviously, the champions only a couple of weeks ago, and these big plays from the SMGs.
I think it'd be scary. I don't know if it's something about winning the previous major, Bryce, And when you come into the following stage, you just can't find a W. It happened with Toronto all throughout the Major 3 qualifiers. And right now, it's potentially on the cards for the Thieves. You know, sometimes when you win a championship, you want to take a couple days extra for a break. You know, probably not really lack off in practice, but not take it as serious sometimes. I don't think LA Thieves is that kind of roster. These guys have been together for quite some time, but so far it's been a slow start to the stage. A 3-1 loss yesterday versus Toronto Ultra. You're losing hard points versus a team like New York, who are great in HP, but you were one of the best. And unfortunately, 4 short in map number 1. But this is where they usually bounce back in the S&Ds, which has been the bread and butter as of recent.
Yeah, and that's what they'll be looking to do here moving forward as well. And yeah, it's kind of a weird one. Maybe they swap the champs curse for the major curse. I don't really know. I know a lot of people still be a lot of high hopes. It's just one map. It's just a hard point. It doesn't matter that much. Moving forward, though, I think it matters more for New York. We have said before, this team needs to find their ground again. It has been the story for them for about 3 to 4 months of can they find Major 1 form. They were ahead of the game. They have lagged behind since. A little bit of confidence, a little bit of magic, and a lot of luck may get them back toward the top.
Definitely need some confidence, probably a little bit of luck, but you also need some ice, man. If you think about how New York are losing the last event, 1v4 clutch by aBeZy on Hotel, tied up at 4. Like, that's things that just can't happen. That ended up all over the world, all over different kind of social medias. So it's just all about developing that ice, man. You got the skill, you got the players, you got the game plan. You just have to be able to clutch up in some moments. As you take a look at the stats for both of these squads, LA Thieves have been running it up so far on the season. When you talk about some Hotel search and destroy, 57% on the first blood column. And that's the one that I really want to focus on, because LA Thieves, whenever they find first blood on defense, 56% of the time, they close out the round about 70. Same thing on the attack. 53% on your first bloods, close out the round about 70. So if you are subliners, just don't get first blooded.
There we go. Simple tactics. Make sure you don't die first. Skyz looking for his own pick, though, with the sniper. KiSMET looking for Drazah and drills him, but Envoy gets the trade before he can do anything. And Priestahh backpedaling, running for his life.
Yeah, Priestahh just has to get out. HyDra's at least able to find one, though, with the nade onto Kenny. So in the 3v3 situation, it's looking like subliners are going to commit this bomb over towards A. Octane with the crossfire is able to find one, but he sets up Skyz. 2v2 now. Make it a 1v1.
Just trading everywhere across this map. Envoy versus Priestahh. Priestahh, I believe, is going to have that tack. Envoy has the Vaz. This is not an easy shot. But he's just going to keep doing this forever. Over and over again. The thumbs will start to ache. The doubt will start to creep in. And now he's doing it quieter. Eventually going to move.
There we go. The engagement's going to be in, and Priestahh's able to win the one-on-one. Would look to be LA Thieves finding the first blood. Everything's going right. You're trading efficiently. But you just did not account for Priestahh. With that dead silence invested, snaps with the TAC 56 in hand, and is able to take their first round for New York.
Well, that round could have gone either way so many times. We'll have to see what they do now. The 1v1 comes down to a chow. And for LA Thieves, probably not a lot to take away from that one. It was just trading across the map. Everything broke down as the S&D went forward. Drazah looking to be a little bit aggressive, but that stun from Skyz is not good.
You already see Drazah trying to make plays, but he gets taken down by HyDra. KiSMET also finds a huge one-on-one gunfight versus Envoy. So far in the series, he has had his number, but it's a 4v2, all left up to Octane and Kenny.
Kenny in a good position. But how does he try and get away with this one realistically? No dead silence. No positioning. Not in a tradable position. Already Octane's found one, though, but he's about to be pinched.
York setting up the vice grip and putting him in the trap. HyDra gets the info onto Kenny, able to win the one-on-one. And then his teammates eventually find the flank, find the opening to take down Octane. First blood goes in favor of the subliners. HyDra starts it all off. And then it is trade efficiently at the very end. Subliners already making those mid-round adjustments, fixing those mistakes that they had yesterday versus the Vegas Legion. And been looking great so far in this S&D 2-0.
And that's what they want. When Thieves are down, keep them down. Do not allow them back in this game at any point if you can help it. Sometimes that's a little bit easier said. Octane already making a move forward. That's going to be the first blood. Octane will have a sniper out. But map position slowly got away from them here, and Octane is going to have to look for it as well. He will find Skyz. Calls it, reads it, and Octane will find a second, and KiSMET Drazah will find a third. It turns out the sniper's the right call.
Guess the sniper was the right call as Octane's able to line up 2 shots on the round. Now it's all left with the HyDra in the 1v2. He is going to get a freebie onto Octane. So now it's a 1v1 going up against Drazah, who has been grinding S&D Money 8s as of recent.
Oh, will that experience give him everything he needs to win here against the French Phenom? The dead silence has popped, and in HyDra's hands, it's like ascending. Unfortunately, not that time. It's an easy kill in the end. HyDra guessed wrong. Drazah finds it in the 1v1.
Here, Drazah just takes his time. No sweat on the brow. Doesn't even invest that dead silence. He knew that the bomb was down towards D1 Des. And HyDra eventually had to find a route to go recover it. Lines up the shots. Able to clutch up the round for the Thieves. To finally get one on the board. Now down to 1.
Every round just seeming very, very close between these two teams, and they try to figure it out. The Thieves this time will be looking for an attack. Trying to get back to a 2-2 rather than a 3-1. Already aggressive towards the mid here. They're going for double arch stacking.
Just waiting for the information right now. They basically have Priestahh trapped in towards Couch's area, but Priestahh is able to walk away with the kill somehow, some way. Another first blood onto Envoy. That's 3 rounds now so far in the S&D that he's been the first guy down. And now you force LA to clutch up again in the 3v4 scenario. Priestahh's going to invest that dead silence. You have players from LA all around the map, but it's looking like the bomb is definitely going to commit over towards A.
And now this becomes a bit of a chess game. Thieves want to clear this out. They want to get this bomb down for the advantage. But they must not make a misstep, and there's the first. Skyz will get Octane.
Can he find some? Can he trying to go for the one-on-one onto Skyz, but Skyz is just staying alive for so long that he has to now commit back over towards the bomb site. But HyDra already takes down his teammate, and with only 10 seconds left, this round is looking like it's going to go to the New York Subliners. They find another first blood. They shut down that early aggression. You maintain mid-map control. Skyz finds the time and they get that player off bomb. And then you just play to keep him off of it. Subliners, 3-1.
The Thieves just look a little bit frustrated. Nothing they need is going their way. Not timing, not gunfights, not luck. Hoping for a bit of a change. The Subliners sitting pretty, leading here. HyDra having fun.
And now New York go back to the 2-2 split. Just to play for the early information before you commit towards one of these sites. Just gonna put down a couple shots. Is Skyz trying to clear out the top bedroom. And he spots the bottom lockers. Bottom luggage is gonna be open. Octane finds the first blood onto HyDra. Second first blood so far of the map for the Thieves. Down to 4v3 advantage.
KiSMET is hunting. He's waiting for that dead silence. It's going to be a little bit slow, but he has the time to wait for it. When it goes active, I wouldn't be surprised to see him move.
Yeah, he's just waiting for his opportunity to pounce.
There we go.
Dead silence is now going to be invested. Just going to try to make a play for his teammates, trying to work his way all the way through the back, but Envoy in a great position to take him down. Able to spot Skyz on the bomb. You cut him down as well. 1v4, all left up to Priestahh. He does take down the first, though.
He does, but with 22 seconds and the bomb across the map, I don't think he's going to make it as well. Octane says, hey, I'll sit here all day. Snaky, snaky, keep yourself awakey, because he's gone. The two teams just not bothering to engage on that gunfight. Octane, relax. He knew he didn't have to really do anything in that one.
Yeah, once they find the first blood, you know New York had to try to make a play happen. And they were able to catch that player trying to make that play in KiSMET. Once he puts himself in towards bottom bedroom, you take care of him, and then you force them to commit towards the bomb. Catch Skyz. Priestahh has no time left in the 1v4 scenario. Just snaky, eggs and bakey. No one's wakey. As LA Thieves are able to walk away with the second round.
This has been a bit of a slow S&D, really. We're kind of thrill-seekers on this map as the teams just go for these slow picks. And I like that, actually. New York open these doors with nobody there. It means Thieves have to look for it, and they have sent in players. They are being aggressive. Kenny is through with a dead silence, but will he find anything from it? There's Priestahh, down with the first. Kenny now looking for more.
And Priestahh was the guy that was watching the cross, so if you are LA Thieves, you can now set yourself up to get this bomb down towards A. Drazah also finds himself in a great position towards top plat. You just don't want to waste a lot of time here because KiSMET's slowly working his way up through the diner. He's just trying to time this flank. Let's get the bomb down. Let's trade a mission.
HyDra looking for this one. We've seen him clear here before, and that's a 2 versus 2. Drazah manages to fire back. HyDra now trying to get into this position. Is he going to ninja it? He's looking for it. Have they got eyes on the bomb as well? Envoy will find KiSMET, but did they find HyDra? HyDra's still defusing! HyDra's still defusing! They've not seen it! They've not checked it! It's a ninja in the face! LA Thieves! They find the kills, but not the bomb!
How does he do it, Bryce? How does he do it every single time on the same exact bomb site on Hotel S&D? He just commits towards the defuse, and it works out perfectly. You saw Drazah, he was the first line of defense to try to spot it, but the bomb was planted behind the block. You can't see it from top bedroom, so he thinks it's all good, but HyDra with the commitment sticks the defuse and gets the round for New York, now up 4-2.
We thought Thieves might be a little bit tilted before. They might be after that one. Fight erupting around bedroom. This time, Thieves do not want to give up any control at all. This is a stack for them.
This is scary, though, Bryce, because New York, they were able to take a lot of map control. It puts two players right up the middle of the map. Priestahh is able to find the first blood, and now you have full bedroom control. You can get this bomb down. Priestahh is going to have a one-on-one. He goes for the snap, but cannot win it. As HyDra finds one across the map. It's a 3v2 with that bomb getting planted, but Kenny takes him down. 2v2.
And just a misstep from New York. Had this sewn up, and HyDra will find Kenny, though. Can Envoy find him? He's so convinced where he is. He's been called out, but KiSMET on Overwatch, and now he has to run away. HyDra will reach out, and New York get it again. Kenny makes a crucial kill on the bomb, but they lose the round.
Kenny makes such a heads-up play to get that player off-site, but then it just comes down to some individual playmakers. HyDra wins the one-on-one, stays alive so long for KiSMET to eventually get alongside his SMG duo. Envoy had the info. He knew where both players were, but when KiSMET turns that corner at the right time, gets Envoy one shot, HyDra's already recuperating his health. Eventually, you go for the double chow. You close out the round. Subliners at game point.
Here they go already, though. Bit of a stun check going through. They're still going for mid-map control. LA Thieves, Octane with the sniper. Looking for a pick, looking for being hopeful. Envoy's already had to back off. I think he saw him there. This guy's going for it. Octane, gonna get him on the out, but not gonna get enough here. It already goes down. Envoy for a 1 versus 3. That's a 2. Can he find the third? Everything the Thieves need right now is wrapped up in Envoy.
And he has a lot of time on the clock. It's a 1v1 versus HyDra. Dead silence is just going to get earned and now invested. They both actually pop it, so it's going to be a dead solid battle. But Envoy, his is about to run out. If he decides to push through main, it's exactly what HyDra wanted him to do. And
there we go. HyDra ties that up in a pretty little bow. LA Thieves. But maybe this time something will go their way, and it does not. Down 0-2 against the New York Subliners. A demoralizing S&D for them.
New York just came out with the plays, man. Early on into the round, I said it, they had to win a majority of the first blood battles. They do exactly that. But when it came down to these one-on-one gunfights right off the rip of these maps, it was Envoy and a majority of the time getting first blooded. And then KiSMET being the island guy. I know the guy only got 4 kills, but his kills were so impactful and definitely felt on the map. There was just a couple rounds where Thieves just let it get away from them. You think about that 2v3 clutch out of HyDra when he sticks the defuse. Even before that, a huge 1v1. So a lot of rounds got away from the Thieves in this search and destroy. New York took every advantage possible and now find themselves up 2-0 in this series. Bryce, you were wondering where this New York Subliners was at ever since Major won. And I guess they're here, my friend. They are here.
Well, unbelievable from this team here. New York have turned up in record form. That's what they need if you're a fan of New York. And we're going to break before the control. But before we do that, we're going to have a little guess of who is this COD pro. You've played this before, and here's how it goes. We have some clues. First one, first full competitive season was Black Ops 2. That's way back when. Even I was around then, but still quite an old one. Second one, made grand finals every season he competed. Well, that's a good one. Maybe give you a bit of a clue. And has played the second most OpTic FaZe matches. So have a guess, put it in the chat, put it on social media, and let us know who's that pro. We'll give you the answer and everything else in this match to come after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you right after this.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We left you with this question: who's that pro? First full competitive season was Black Ops 2, made the grand finals every season he competed, and last but not least, has played the second most OpTic FaZe matches. And we can now finally reveal it is, of course, the Wanderers themselves, Crimsix, Ian Porter. And Jay, you were wrong.
Oh, yeah, Bryce, I was way wrong. They completely threw me off guard. You know the little blurred out image right there? I was definitely thinking Slasher. But yeah, nah, Crimsix is a guy. These guys have been playing for so damn long in Call of Duty. Without question, he's definitely made it to a final every single season he has played. He's one of the GOATs of Call of Duty. Good friend of mine. And the guy's kind of, you know, a driver nowadays.
He certainly is tearing up the racing track. But speaking of tearing up, right now New York are tearing up the Thieves. It has been easy for them in the first two maps here as we move towards the control. But is there a reverse sweep? What's going on? Talk to me, Goose.
I think there's definitely an opportunity for LA Thieves to start this reverse sweep. They did play LSCLO control yesterday. They fall short in a round number 5 against Toronto because they just simply could not shut down the aggressive slaying from Scrappy. But now you're going up against New York, who you see the record for them, 4-7. They haven't really liked themselves a lot of CeeLo control. Ever since Fortress has gotten out of the mix, that used to be their bread and butter. They don't like to play Expo, and teams know that Hotel is their best control, so they had to have gotten better at a little bit of a CeeLo. As of recent, though, at Major 4, they went 3-1 in this map and mode, so New York definitely are getting a lot more comfortable on some CeeLo control.
Let's see if they can be super comfortable and end the series right here, because that's what they want to do. Take these 10 points, take the win, and keep on moving. But first, they have to get past the Thieves. And HyDra will not get past Envoy that time.
So far, LA Thieves able to shut down that first push. Only one player drops, and they're finding all the kills so far in the feed. New York forced to hit that reset button. You're coming off spawn, having to check every single corner, which can waste a lot of time on that clock. Because you know you can't commit over towards A. Kenny, your job is to simply stay alive. He's throwing shoulders. You invested dead silence. You know the pressure's going to be on you. But New York, they sniff him out. They take care of him. Now they can apply that pressure.
The best thing here for the Thieves is if they can keep New York on the back burner. Oh. All right, Drazah. Finally arrived into the series and taking them down with 27 seconds left. New York do not have a lot of options. They're going to have to shake and bake and move into a position sooner rather than later.
You just got to find a kill. And right now, the SMGs on the side of the Thieves is causing them so many problems. Envoy finds 2. Skyz is there for the trade. But look at the route right now that KiSMET is currently taking. He finds himself towards top party. Player is going to be spotted on towards B, and this might work out perfectly because New York are finding the kills at the right time. The stack is going to be in towards the B point. First segment about to come in.
And I think they might actually end up giving this up. They're not really in a position to do much about it. That second tick is now in. Envoy is going to make a move. Drazah on Overwatch, looking for HyDra, but HyDra's already found Envoy, and that tick is going in, and Drazah will get 1 kill, but it won't be enough to save this, surely, as Octane is fighting down with it. And how on earth have the Thieves managed to hold that off?
They just take their time, man. You take their time. You had multiple different angles that you're able to spot out the B point. Players staying towards top AC. Players towards both windows. As they hold down their pre-aims with those ARs in hand. And they're able to find all the kills at the right time to not lose that B point. They only allow the Subliners to get 2 segments. As LAT able to basically dominate on the first defensive round. Exactly how you want to start off the reverse sweep on the cards.
The early call for the reverse sweep. We'll see if you're some sort of prophet, Jay, as the rest of this series. It could happen, but they have to get past them first. And Drazah a little bit shaky. Eventually does get it through as they move towards B in numbers.
This is what you don't want if you are New York. You have 2 players on this side of the map. They both drop, so now LA Thieves get free roam. Just push right up through the field side, take control of the right side of the mini-map. Potentially puts you guys in a spawn trap, but Priestahh and KiSMET, they combine for 2. Envoy still getting a couple kills in the back of his spawn. But Drazah's the guy. Drazah's the guy farthest pushed up, cuts down Skyz from top cliff. Now he's set up to get a couple of freebies. Another one on a Priestahh.
The only thing they will be looking for is HyDra. They know they haven't seen him. They know he's somewhere in the back line, and that's Priestahh again, taking it to the teeth here from Drazah. Points for Thieves. They slowly surely get here, but they're still wondering where that man has gone.
Eventually, HyDra's time to strike. Does find one on the pinch, but not going to have anything to show for it. As LA Thieves, they get the point, and now they're trying to transition over towards A. Envoy finds two with the great movement to put himself in this position. Drazah all spawn, takes down another. You have the cruise missile just in case you want to try to invest in here, but the guns are hot. They find all the kills. The stack is about to be in.
And this is a spawn trap. They have to get past Octane first, and then get towards it. That second tick is a little bit slow there for the LA Thieves as Octane tries to thread the needle. And now he's away from it. He has to get towards a point to help his team out. But that tick is going in. It's been contested at the last second. Kenny goes down the KiSMET, and they've held.
I don't know how New York were able to do that. It was a 3-stack over towards the A point, but KiSMET again makes the play to keep this round moving. You still know that Octane's in the back of your spawn. You gotta play nice and slow. You gotta go for some team shots because this young man is not missing any bullets. Eventually, HyDra takes him down, but LA, they get right back on the point. The 2-stack is in.
Looking for it as well. How's HyDra just got through? HyDra's contesting by himself. Eventually will fall. It's the hero play of all hero plays. But he will go down. And LA Thieves go 2 up in this control.
That was just too easy right there, Bryce. They start off the initial push, pushing up right through field. Drazah won a couple key gunfights. And even when his teammates dropped, Drazah was still staying alive towards top party. To them eventually closing out that beat point. You put them in a little bit of a spawn trap with Octane in the positioning towards top hill. And it was only a matter of time before the Thieves were able to win a couple of those gunfights, stack the point for the final segment, and walk away with the attacking round. That was textbook play right there out of LA to go up 2-0.
For New York, this may not feel like the same series. LA Thieves has come alive in the control. We're thinking that KiSMET HyDra will go for the trade. This is where they need to ascend to a different level and try to get them. And HyDra will go hunting on Octane. Octane, I think, has called it at the same time and has read him like a book.
Big kill right there from Octane to shut down HyDra in his flow state. He's continuing to gun people across the map. Finally, New York takes some map control. They have 3 players so far pushed up on B. They're going to solo out Octane, and the stack is going to be in. But Drazah on the flank through top white. He's going to be able to get the info. HyDra reads it, though. New York, they're set up to close up this B point early on.
They're looking for it as well. Envoy and Kenny. Just being Priestahh has to look every direction, trying to figure out where they go. Oh, he's heard him drop. He's heard him drop, but the timing is not right. Priestahh with 1 health should fall here as Kenny gets the reach out. And again, it's the same scenario here for New York. Time ticking away.
And there's only 25 seconds left. Skyz finds himself in a great position, but LA, they're not panicking. You're not pushing up field side. That means you have to commit over towards A. They have the bodies, they have the lives to contest this. But 2 players do fall. New York able to get the 2-stack going. The first segment is about to be complete. All of LA Thieves waiting for their teammates to come off time before they attack, but KiSMET's not waiting. He takes the fight to them.
It's a slow push. They've got radio tower control, so they don't have to stack the site, but they've still got a player on it. KiSMET keeping this team alive here in the control, looking for Drazah. Drazah will eventually take him down. HyDra knows he has to stay, backs off to the point, wins the gunfight. Skyz gets another one from up high.
So now the Subliners are going to be able to extend this time by a minute. They're currently up by 4 lives in the lives remaining department. Because now all it takes is just 1 perfect push. KiSMET starts it off by getting the first kill. They're applying the pressure towards the backside of the cliff. They know that LAT are going to get those close spawns. Big name from HyDra to get the first blood. It's all about winning these gunfights from here on out. Skyz finds a second. All you got to do is trade.
And the Thieves, that is a crucial kill against HyDra. They do not get the door shut. Priestahh looking to gun. No more joy for him as Drazah and Octane combined. They have pushed New York back for a second. 42 seconds left in this round. 15 versus 11 lives. It probably won't come down to that. This is all going to be positioning and gunfights.
And I love the way that LA is playing this right now. They're not getting over aggressive. They don't want to die the opponent's base. You want to stack up, put that 50-yard line down, and play the trades with your teammates as Octane and Drazah combined for 3. would look like to be a round that New York had the potential to walk away with. It's only 15 seconds until LA walk away with the clean 3-0.
Drazah committing to this. Here it comes. Trophies are going to go down. Skyz has made one kill. Envoy gets one of the HyDra. Priestahh sitting pretty under the protection of that trophy system. 9.7 seconds. This is the last roll of the dice. Drazah against Priestahh. And Drazah will find it. KiSMET going with a nade. Skyz going for a Octane on coverage as well. And KiSMET is finding himself alone, hoping HyDra can back him up from a long way down, but it's not to be. HyDra must commit to the site. It's a forlorn dive into nothingness but death. And that'll be the end of it as Drazah on a 7 clears up, looks for the 8, has to reload. It's no good. And LA Thieves regain.
Hey, that was just too easy, Bryce. Too easy right there for LAT. They basically dominate the first defensive round, dominate on their only attacking round. And then when they need to clutch up on a defensive setup around that B point, no one gets overzealous. No one tries to be the aggressor on the map. They all hold strong on their side of the building to find all the kills in those final moments. It was textbook from start to finish. Drazah completely took over in this control as LA Thieves are able to force the map number 4. Like I said, Bryce, I don't know if I'm a prophet or something, but the reverse sweep is definitely on the cards now.
Oh, Jay, you can't call that into being this early in. You'll have angry New York fans.
And I'm from New York. They're crazy. I'm from New York. So, like, you guys know, I root for New York, but just the way that LADs have been playing, you can never count them out of the series. So, in my opinion, this series is far from done, especially with the way that New York came out and played on Fortress yesterday. It wasn't the best look going up against Vegas Leech.
That is very, very true. And if anything, LA Thieves, that little break we took between map 2 and 3, certainly probably had a very good pep talk to get them into form for this LA Silo control. And now they've got it. Got over the hump. They're no longer in that bad mood. And how does that make this hardpoint play?
Well, the thing you gotta think about, Bryce, is that LA Thieves played this map, Fortress, the map number 4 coming up, yesterday against Toronto Ultra. You had Scrapz on the opposing side break the kill record in a single hardpoint game mode. But then it was also Kenny breaking the death record in that same exact map. And somehow LA Thieves was still able to win it with him going 18-42. So whatever LA Thieves love to do on Fortress, that's find the breaks when it's needed. That's rotating nice and early, setting up for these money hills. That's the key to success, because there's no way in hell Kenny goes 18-42 today. So LA Thieves, they got the perfect game plan. Just gotta make sure you bring the slaying so it's not as close as it was yesterday versus Toronto.
I wonder if you just jinxed Kenny there. See if we can bring another kill.
Ain't no way, Bryce. I'm telling you right now.
I want to give a quick shout to Drazah as well. 2.63 there in the control. Just took over the map where they needed it the most. But you are right. Realistically, even with Scrapz dropping hammers all over Fortress, they still lost it. Big kills out of Octane. And yeah, I don't know what it is about Kenny. I don't know whether or not they need to draw a kind of green camo on all the players so it looks like he's playing against OpTic every single time. But yeah, sometimes he struggles in respawn against other teams. I don't know if Hex, you know, did it wrong in a past life or something, because it's only really it's OpTic we see the full Kenny effect.
Whenever Kenny plays against OpTic, we know this guy's a different beast. Like, he's probably having the bandana sitting in his back pocket, ready to go at any moment. But yesterday versus Toronto, didn't have the best map, but they still somehow won it. So if Kenny is able to take his gameplay to that next level, which we all know he is able to hit at a consistent basis, LA Thieves definitely have the opportunity to force this game number 5. It's going to be a battle though, man. Fortress is all about the pressure from the SMGs. If you go back to map number 1, KiSMET really set the tone alongside HyDra early into this series. So those are 2 guys that you have to put a lot of focus on. And it's only the other 2 guys that have to guard them. It's Kenny and Envoy that have to perform in this map 4.
That's what they'll want. You don't want a repeat of the HyDra. So they don't want a repeat of the S&D. You want to channel that energy that they poured into the control to keep on moving forward. Another respawn, another chance. And you are right, when we spoke about that hardpoint earlier, LA Thieves are known as one of the better hardpoint teams. It is rare to see many people take that map off of them.
When LA lost HyDra, definitely threw us off guard. But now they're going into a fortress hardpoint. Well, like I said, a teammate basically went triple negative yesterday. You still found a way to win it. So I think the biggest focus for LA has to be those rotations. You're going up against the Subliners, who are number one in rotation win percentage on a map like Fortress. You saw what that was like at map number 1 when New York was set up properly for these hills. You have to make sure that you're the guy early this time around.
Oh, and it all comes down to it. If New York take 2 hard points off Thieves, it's a very different story. But Thieves can reverse sweep New York. Well, it hasn't happened an awful lot this year, so it is a little bit more significant.
And here we go. Right into the map number 1. LA Thieves starting off on the preferred side. But this is not how you want to start off in the engagements. New York win a couple key gunfights. They're already applying pressure over towards P2. You have control of bottom mid. And now you're able to soak up some much needed time. LA Thieves had to slow down. They have to find these kills and control the map.
I think just trying to stay alive here and getting back into a position. And LA Thieves played a little bit slow to begin with because they were just making sure they didn't give anything away too much. And now they can apply the pressure. Now they can try and pin back New York. Block stage, make sure they don't get the P2 spawns.
Yeah, with only 15 seconds remaining on P1, LA, they're finding all the kills in the feed. So that's a clean 4 dead. All of the Subliners spawning over towards back statue. And now they're forced to break out of double doors. And there's multiple players from Thieves set up on the crossfire to try to consistently trap them in for as long as they can. Drazah, he's been lighting it up ever since that map number 3, and he's not slowing down so far in this hard point. LA Thieves win the rotation. They're soaking up the time.
Now pick up the pressure from the front. KiSMET dives through, gets the first, but Envoy there for the trade. Not able to get on the Priestahh though, and New York will break forward into the front here. Octane just trying to make sure he holds this down for the back, allowing his subs to put on some more pressure. The wall bang will come through, but it's not going to be enough. And eventually he gets squeezed out of this. Nothing for Thieves.
Oh, that's a perfect hold right there from the Subliners. Perfect setup right there from HyDra as well to set up the pinch at the right time, which leads to them getting about 30 uncontested seconds over towards P2. But now it's all about the battle off the rotation. New York know that P3 is the money hill. We're going to be able to set up all 4 players on this side of the map. If you're KiSMET, you don't want to drop and potentially spawn across, because that might be the opening the Thieves are looking for. They find the kill, they're putting on the pressure, and now they have the man advantage.
They know they just have to trade Priestahh. That's the and they line up for a 3-piece. It is not some sort of fried chicken. It is just destruction in the kill feed. And they have the opportunity, and it's gone.
It was there. It was there. All you have to do is find the trade onto Priestahh. But now New York so far holding it down. LA Thieves, though, they find a couple kills, pushing through the double door. They find all 4 kills, and they're able to break the hill with 35 seconds left. New York are now in a position where if they decide to push and potentially flip spawns, that's the worst case scenario. You're just going to play the trap LA Thieves in towards the back end and rotate early to set up for the next hill.
And it's a break that Thieves really made sure happened. They actually did it yesterday versus Toronto as well. Just looks so impressive. But this is about just trying to get a player out. Try to get it chaotic. You know you're going to take losses here on this break. Octane looking for it already. Knows where KiSMET is. KiSMET has to back off already. Thieves putting impressive pressure on the map.
Yeah, they're able to break out immediately as soon as this hill pops. You know, Octane, even though he does not have dead silence invested, he's able to get behind enemy lines, goes for the one-on-one onto HyDra, is not able to win it. So New York holding down their power positions, winning the key gunfights. So far, get 20 uncontested seconds.
And Drazah just gonna go for these kills as well. Finds Priestahh, doesn't care that it's a bad position for him, and that trophy to the face has probably annoyed him more than anything. Gonna go for another Overwatch. KiSMET going for the snake, doesn't matter. Drazah isn't missing. That 6th streak here for him now as he holds top rails with a firm grip against these players. HyDra chows, down he goes to Kenny. Knows where Skyz is, and Skyz exposes himself. And not in a way that'll get him arrested, but just in the way that he goes down to Drazah.
Yeah, Drazah is taking this game to a whole different level right now. He earns himself that cruise missile. They find the break on towards P4 again. And now they're up by 40 points. Going in towards the Statue Hill. Multiple players from New York surrounding towards bottom match. They find 3 kills. They just haven't found Drazah. Finally, you take care of him. You're able to soak up some much needed time.
Octane on Overwatch. Echoes of human turret over and over again as they try to channel him out of this window. Not going to work so far for Octane as he will fall eventually. It's a good hold so far on Blacksmith. And New York putting pain in the Thieves camp.
That's a great hold right there from New York, because they're not on the preferred sides. It's a lot easier to break when you're spawning towards Art. But HyDra was the guy that was roaming around bottom Art, being a nuisance, coming up behind players, just keeping them off of his teammates who were soaking up all this P5 time. Finally, LA Thieves are able to win a couple gunfights on fight finds too. They're able to get the break. But now if you pay attention to your mini-map, look at what Skyz is doing. He knows that he has to put himself on the better side going into this P1. You're just going to play your life, allow your teammates to try to get out.
They're in such a good position now, New York. Skyz looking for the last player. It's Octane by himself. Alone, scared, gun.
Gotcha.
And that will bring them back into the spawn.
Now this is where you got to find the break if you are LA. You're going to invest this cruise missile because you know how crucial this moment can be in the game. Hopefully everything was spam, so Priestahh is going to be able to get taken down, but KiSMET instantly there for the fill. As the Subliners are going to be able to take the lead. The Chow still going down at P1. LA, they find the break for the final 20, but you have to win these gunfights because a couple players from New York spawning all the way across the map. It's a 4v2. Skyz starts it off with the first, and now his teammates are here to reinforce.
And Octane, you can see he's trying to make these plays. He's got a second kill there with the Vaznev. Flexing on them, but he doesn't have reinforcements. He doesn't want to get traded here. He wants to make sure that he can keep this map control and the information alive for his teammates as they look to make this push forward. HyDra, though, moving mad around Art as he usually does. Second player goes for the channel. Down he falls as HyDra keeps on moving. It has done enough to put the Thieves back.
And if you are LA, you are spawning on the bad side. You're getting those close P1 spawns, but you cannot give up all this time to New York. You also cannot apply the pressure to the back because you potentially are going to spawn a player across the map or free off the rotation. All players from LA decide to attack from different angles. They find the break, at least for now. But Subliners, they think a big picture. They know that this P3 is a money hill. It's all onto Kenny. What can he get done?
Oh, he gets it as well, but there's going to be a trade. KiSMET alone. Those players are going to be hit. He's outnumbered. Is he outgunned? He is. Drazah finds him, and they are chaining the hills. 3 players left. The only weak spot is the fact that Octane will not be there as he's on the last hill himself.
But that's a big kill, though, for Priestahh to take down Octane. As they're so far pushed up on the map, Octane should be able to spawn up behind them, but he actually spawns towards open, so he instantly is able to put himself in a position to find the pinch. The rest of his teammates find all the kills, and this might be the turning point of the game. LA Thieves, 45 seconds on P3. They get this time. It's basically going to be game.
And here they go. Skyz gets the first one onto Octane. At least clears that backline a bit. Envoy will find another one. Priestahh sitting up top platform. KiSMET will find one. Envoy wants to win this gunfight. He's the last alive, and down he will fall. Great break there from New York in the end. They managed to make sure that this game does not end.
That was a much-needed break. Much-needed break from the Subliners, but on the opposite side for LA, they currently have the lead. They're trying to put the reverse sweep on the cards. Let's step aside and go for a listen-in with LAT.
That's him.
Hey, I'm going to
I have left cross. I have left cross. They can jump. I can get P2. I got one right back. P2 I got one left. I'm LP1. Watch your P2. Watch your lower. Watch your lower. I'm top solo. Solo one. Right door. I'm going down.
Watch my lower.
Give me time. Top dark. Lower. I spawned out 2 pillars. Nice. Shoot him.
I got time for a second.
He went Dashy. I'm in the cage. I'm spawned out. Red P5. 2 dark stairs, guys. 2 dark stairs.
Dark stairs, win up.
Lane out. Top up. Cannon.
One shot to cannon.
There's a white truck on you.
Alright, back door roll.
He won, absolutely.
Alright, behind cannon and roll, kids.
Alright. He won, bro. I got Chris.
I spawned
So he's on bench.
On bench. He's top bench. Bench. Shut up.
Nice.
Stay open.
Alright,
Close.
One shot open.
Open.
He's so weak.
I'll play this guy. Stage, yeah. Lane down. I'll stay to me. He just taking the
He's weak. He's still weak.
I'm holding him.
This guy's still
Hey,
safe.
that's fine. I have time.
They can pitch me bench. They can pitch me.
I don't have trophy. I don't have trophy. Get in maps.
Open, dead.
Bottom mass, shit on. Out of
I gotta
here.
go
Come on, bullet, bro.
Could be close. Could be close.
I'm going outside.
He was close earlier.
Yeah,
He was
one
close
is
earlier.
close now.
I'm coming out. I've been close. I've been close.
Lower.
I'm taking close. I'm gonna look open into the next.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah, give me
I'm absolutely bro.
And the comms accelerators this match has as well. 20 points are in it. Blacksmith being held. The New York Subliners have got one last opportunity to break.
And with only 15 seconds of LA Thieves, they're finding all the kills in the feed. 10 seconds until they're able to force the game number 5. A player from New York is going to spawn on the pinch. They might find the break now.
It's HyDra, and it doesn't matter. Sky's going to kill as well. Kenny will have to get it, and now it's a race to P1. But it is disgraceful spawns on both sides. They're not going to want this either way, but no, they've broken back in. Octane is here. It is 3 seconds to midnight. They have to hold this in every single step of the way. Octane will find a kill, but it's not to be. We're going to P1. Thieves are already here. Kenny's on Overwatch. Skyz will fall, and we are going to a map 5 study.
I told you, Bryce, I'm not a prophet or anything, but I just had a feeling. LA Thieves come out in this map number 4. They fall short in a couple rotations. I thought the Subliners were setting themselves up for success. But every time the Thieves needed to find a break, they got it done. More specifically, at that P3 hard point. First rotation of hard points, it was New York set up. But then LA find the break. Second time, it was LA Thieves in the man advantage, thought that they had an opportunity, but they get shut down by Priestahh. At that time, sometimes it might be a little bit demoralizing to break into one of these money hills, especially when someone just pops 3. But they go back at it again. They send 3 through the double door. They find the break, and I knew that that was the turning point of the game. It was such a back and forth hard point, but the LA Thieves clutch up in game number 4. Kenny doesn't go 18 and 42. He still goes negative, but it wasn't as bad as LA are able to force the game number 5. Man, what a series this has been.
One last thing before I want to quickly throw about Kenny there. As we spoke about in the listening, he was 12 and 22. He ends up 18 and 24. So actually went 6 and 2 in those last engagements. Critical for the success. But it has been a long journey, but our destination is not yet here. We have one more map. It's coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you for the very final map of week 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live with a map 5 between LA Thieves and New York Subliners. It has been an absolute stormer so far with incredible plays. And speaking of plays, it's the scuff play of the game. And this one, Jay, pretty easy to take down.
Yeah, I just don't understand how no one's able to check bomb. So right here, you already see it's a 4v3, making it 3v3, 3v2, now 2v2. As Drazah wins that gunfight towards top end. KiSMET still has yet to be known on the map, but Envoy is able to take him down. And with now, Drazah being the guy to gain the information of a player defusing a bomb, he checks sight, but he's not able to spot HyDra because the bomb is planted behind the cube. So HyDra just sticks on it. He commits towards it again. On the defuse on hotel, he has had so many successful rounds doing that same play. And he finds another one for our scuff play of the game.
And that's the problem. The HyDra, when you don't know where he is and around top bedroom, it's terrifying. That was the problem. They were terrified of where HyDra could be. And so they were checking corners, they were checking angles. Unfortunately, didn't get eyes on the bomb. But another S&D, another opportunity. This is the last one. A map 5. A potential reverse sweep. Can HyDra do it again? 11-3 in the first one, Jay.
And HyDra's the guy that you have to put a lot of focus on. He took over in that map 2 search and destroy. And going into this map number 5, HyDra should get a 1.25 KD. And every time he gets into an opening duel battle, he has a 78% chance at winning that gunfight. So another scenario where the first blood is going to be crucial. New York are great whenever they find it. LA Thieves, they are horrible whenever they find the first blood. So we're just going to have to see how this one plays out.
We certainly are. Now, I've made my opinion known on HyDra with a sniper rifle, but this time it should be good because he finds Drazah on the peak. And this is advantage to New York.
That's a big first blood from HyDra. He does it again with the snap onto Kenny. KiSMET finds the third. KiSMET finds the final. The SMG duo takes over, but HyDra this time around not with the SMG. Quick scoping people across the map for New York. They come out swinging in round 1.
Yep, and that made me eat my words very, very quickly. Sometimes I think HyDra's just a menace with the Vaz. I don't want to ever see him put out anything but it. But hey, this time it works out. He made the plays. Probably done enough with it, HyDra. Probably stick it away and do nothing else you need to. But yeah, big win for New York to begin with. It will make it very scary for Thieves.
Because now if you have to think in the back of your mind, if HyDra's going to be sniping, you usually probably expect him to be the aggressor with that SMG. But now you have to develop a new game plan. Because now we go into a stalemate. LA on the defensive side. Octane holding down bottom pool with this angle with the snipe. This New York are not trying to give them anything to work with. Slowly trying to work up his KiSMET. He does get picked off though. Envoy finds the first 3v4.
And now for New York, it's about trying to find some distance here. Skyz head above the parapet. Envoy, there we go. The pixel movement. He finds him eventually. Skyz is going to go back here. Long range Vaz and Octane on Overwatch, but misses the shot for him. Envoy may try and get this one down as it goes down to a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, Drazah is able to take down HyDra. Player from New York who was trying to be the playmaker, but Priestahh answers the call, takes down Kenny. So now in a 3v2 scenario, both players from the Subliners invest that dead silence. Gonna be able to maneuver around the map for free. They're just trying to take a lot of ground, but they're wasting a lot of clock. Eventually, LA Thieves, they're going to be able to strike towards one of these sites as Envoy and Drazah invest in dead silence of their own.
This guy's looking for a potential pick, and he's going to find Envoy and threads the needle and gets him, but falls to Drazah. That bomb's going to have to go down. Priestahh for some magic, but it isn't going to happen. Thieves this time to check the bomb.
They're able to clutch up in the 4v2. Got a little scary, but Drazah in a great position to at least find the trade. And then in the 2v1, they know that Priestahh has to commit towards getting the bomb down. They set up the pinch. Octane puts the final couple of shots with the pistol. Tied up in the search and destroy. 1-1 now.
Well, snipers both sides. Andrews was more effective. Octane's was okay. But now we've got to find out, what does a difference make? Drazah looking for anybody out here. HyDra has switched away from that sniper, not relying on it every single round. The Vaznev back in hand, and Kenny walks into the sights.
And that's the second first blood so far on the map for HyDra. Guy who does great in his opening duels, and he also does great when he has to win another one-on-one. Takes down Envoy. New York in the man advantage, 3v2 with the bomb down in towards A.
Wow. Oh no, he got out of that one. Drazah moving very, very fast as bullets nipping in his heels. LA Thieves going to go take over towards B bomb, but realistically, they're going to have to come back because they don't have the bomb. It is currently sitting in A site.
Yeah, you can't plant air. So you got to work your way back over towards that A point where you know HyDra is ready to strike. As they both invest dead silence. It's a dead silence fest from all 4 players left in this clutch. Priestahh takes down Drazah. Now it's Octane left in the 1v2. His dead silence is about to run out, so his position is about to be known.
He has to check every single corner. Paranoia echoing in this man's brain as he tries to go for it, and he's just dodging people by the tiniest of points. He can't find it. Octane has been the fastest I've ever seen him move as he checks every single angle, but New York give him nothing.
Yeah, they gave him nothing to work with. They knew that the bomb was down in towards A. HyDra finds the first blood. HyDra finds 3 on the round to take that one in favor of the Subliners. Slowly working his progression up towards the cruise missile. But now we go back on the defensive side. LA Thieves, they were super strong with their hold over towards that B bomb. Drazah was making plays. But now it's all about shutting down this pressure from HyDra because he's starting to feel himself. It's looking like this is one of those maps that he has the ability to take over.
It is a more sedate one here from New York. Potentially expecting some pressure, and here it comes. Drazah, they've read him completely, and somehow he gets out alive. Has to run away, but KiSMET will find Octane on the other side of the map. And New York got the playbook out, and it read everything they needed.
That's the default setup. You know that LA are going to try to make a couple plays on the map. You know that Octane likes to be the sole man over towards top radio. Able to take down Drazah, able to take down Octane. Now puts you in a 4v2 situation. You have the man advantage. Let's just jump into a site and let's get the bomb down. Do not allow Envoy to make the plays. He doesn't have dead silence, but all the info is gained.
Well, Envoy made a lot of noise out there and shot a lot of fences, but didn't get a lot else. And New York move into a commanding lead here on the S&D. Yeah, Envoy, a lot of noise. Easy read for KiSMET.
They're just taking their time in their rounds so far, Bryce. On their attacking rounds, they know that LA Thieves, whenever they find success on a CeeLo, it's usually off the first blood. So they're trying to throw a couple of different strategies at them. Drazah whipping out the submachine gun one round, switching to attack. Octane also with the sniper. But New York aren't budging. They're not worried about what they're doing on the map. They're focused on themselves. So far, that has led to a 3-1 in this search and destroy. As LA Thieves go back on the attack. Super aggressive this time around, though, into the A side.
Priestahh's going to get first blood at this time, but it will instantly be traded. Back down to a 3 versus 3. That's going to be bombed down again, though, for Thieves. And HyDra just says, all right, I found Drazah. More pressure on them again. Kenny and Octane this time.
And Octane at least was able to spot HyDra. So he's just going to back up to his spawn, play for this one-on-one gunfight where Kenny is trying to take care of the other 2 players. Currently sitting in bottom tools, but HyDra's able to win the one-on-one somehow versus Octane. Earns himself the cruise missile, and now it's all up to Kenny in the 1v3.
Slowly does it. No dead silence. Forced to a snail's pace, and he bursts out against Skyz, who will just run and catches him before he can get out. A glimmer of hope. HyDra a mile away. KiSMET up the top as well. Still looking for him. Might find HyDra here. No, HyDra's gone the safe route all the way around the back, and Kenny's running out of time.
He just has to have dead silence, so you have to crouch walk your way around the map. And by the time you get towards the site, both Subliners players have rotated together to go for the team shots. HyDra is just taking over in this search and destroy. This is the one-on-one gunfight with Octane. Octane position known, but once you hit those first couple of bullets, you have the advantage in the gunfight. Goes for the re-snap, wins the one-on-one, earns the cruise missile. His Subliners now put themselves up 4-1.
Well, let's see what happens for the rest of it. Do LA Thieves have it in them now to bounce back in this S&D? They've done it in the series. It was 2-0 and down to 2-2. But in map 5, they have not arrived. Ooh, little dodgy nade there.
Yeah. Your subliners just want to make sure no one is in towards the site. So you throw all your attacks, even though it might hit a couple teammates, which eventually sets up Envoy to put the pressure on. He gets that player off bomb. Drazah finds the second. Skyz takes down Octane, though, but it's still subliners in a 3v2.
Skyz left alone in a 1 versus 2 now, though. Dead silence will be activated. Up we go. Taking top position. Going to check some positions before he goes for this bomb. Does he call it right?
Ooh, he spotted at least one player towards white. So now it's about getting the information on where the second player is. Fortunately, it's a bad timing there.
Unbelievable. That kill. Perfect. Skyz just waiting for this 1v1, but Kenny is playing it even more passive. Just not checking anything, not going anywhere.
Yeah, but Skyz knows now that he has to commit towards the bomb plant. Kenny, he's actually going to commit towards taking him off, and it plays beautifully. Skyz with the 2v1 clutch gets all the info he needs to get, spots the player towards white. The player in towards the site, puts down a couple shots. He's able to win the one-on-one. But then the mind games, because Kenny's getting the info. The bomb's down towards A. He can only go towards A bomb. He's most likely going to go for the plant. But Skyz, with the 1000 IQ play, does not commit towards the plant. Puts down a couple shots with the Vaznavs, closes it out with the TAC 56. Clutches up in a 2v1 to now put New York at game point.
And it is going from bad to worse. LA Thieves keep looking like they have the advantage, they have the opportunity. But now all they have is the potential of failure. Octane has to get away with it. But Dead Silence and KiSMET is feeling himself. He's going for him. He knows where he's going to be and gets him as well. With the crews coming in, he had all the information he gets. That's the first blood. Bomb will be down here for Thieves, though.
Gotta try to clutch up. In the 4v3 bomb planted, you know that KiSMET's still roaming around your base. Envoy was a huge one-on-one. Drazah finds his second. Envoy finds 2. So now it's all up to Priestahh. And a 1v2 with 20 seconds left.
And he's going for it, but can't get the first kill. A little bit of a shake. And now we're going to see, do LA Thieves have not only the potential to reverse sweep, but can they almost full sail it? Not quite, but they still need a lot more rounds.
Definitely need a lot more rounds. I thought that the subliners played that last round beautifully. You call the cruise missile in, you isolate everyone in towards the building, you allow KiSMET to go on the one-on-one versus Octane. He finds that first blood, but once the bomb gets planted, even though you know where they are currently set up around, just some very, very tough gunfights to try to win as LA Thieves keep themselves alive in this SSD a little longer. Now down 2-5.
Oh, and HyDra will get the first blood under Drazah. A perfect stun. Kenny knows there might be pressure looming. Players coming to chow.
And now you just gotta wait. Someone's gotta be a playmaker. Someone's gotta try to get some information on towards this A-bomb. You cannot allow it to get planted for free. Or at least not getting a kill. As Kenny is able to put down a couple shots onto Skyz, but now the bomb's getting planted for the subliners. Envoy might be here to make a play.
KiSMET's been found. Bomb's still going to go down. HyDra will find Kenny as well. Octane will get HyDra. It goes down to a 2 versus 2. Bomb is down. Envoy is guessing where this player is going to be. Checks right. Knows he's not there. Also will check so far. And they're looking for it now as well. Envoy goes straight in. Skyz, another 1v2. Is this one ridden? The dead silence will be popped.
He invests that dead silence. Not a single player from LA is on the point yet. But he's going to be able to get one and get out with his life. You throw the shoulder, you get the info, and Skyz might have just done enough to win this series.
Oh, Skyz again with a 1 versus 2. No reverse sweep, no glory for Thieves. New York shut them down. And they will get that win here. Our champions from Major 4 start off their campaign for Major 5, 0-2.
And that's so tough, man. That's so tough. If you think about a majority of these rounds in the game 5, LA Thieves had the man advantage. But usually every time that they put themselves in that advantage, they do not find a lot of success. They have to play their man up scenarios a lot better. As you see the difference in the first bloods, I know HyDra lagged out the game, but that young man was taking over from start to finish of this map. He had like 4 first bloods by himself. So 6-3, even though the final scoreline is 6-2. Subliners have some serious ice going into this game number 5. Caesar, Skyz, Bueno invested in this game today to come out and clutch 2v1 clutches to close out the series in a game 5 series. That was insane, man. That was nuts.
It really was. You got to give credit though. New York, they were beaten back. A reverse sweep, a potential crying situation. The ice froze those tears before they get out the ducks and they get the win over Thieves. Well, it's time to hand it over to the birthday boy and our beautiful Des to break this one down.
Hey guys, great cast. 5 games. Exactly how we predicted it, right, Allie?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit about this one. I thought the Subliners were actually going to be able to lock it up with a 3-0. Instead, it's LA Thieves turning it on Control. They forced that game 4 hard point. They win it there. Force the game 5. But then it's all Subliners. HyDra taking over with this snipe. You see Skyz coming in as the closer. Where was New York shining today, Allie? Because LA Thieves are not an easy team.
Definitely in those search and destroys. I said that was going to be kind of the deciding factor in this series, as these are 2 historically very strong respawns teams, and I think we definitely saw that in this series. But New York, man, they were just different in the games 2 and 5. They shut down every time LA Thieves thought they had the advantage. It was a clutch from a player like Skyz, like KiSMET, in the 1v2s, especially in that game number 5, to just shut it down.
And I wanted to ask you, Nameless, doubleheader question here. What is going on with LA Thieves? Is it just LSCO for these game 5s? That's a problem?
Listen, all right, so up until stage 4, it was a cursed map. I mean, these guys were 4-10 on it with 4 round 11 losses. They had the lowest first blood conversion rate, so when they got that first kill, they could never win the round on this map, but they won 3 straight throughout stage 4. Well, guess what happens? The cursed map returns in game 5. They get smoked here on the LSCO game 5, but also, you know, sort of similar to Toronto Ultra. Toronto Ultra won a major, started off 0-3 in SD and lost 2 series. LA Thieves, they come back into this stage. They've lost 2 series, and they're 0-3 in S&D so far. When you win an event, everybody's watching your VOD. They know what you're trying to do. They know how you're going to be playing the map. You have to adjust. We've seen some of the similar plays. Drazah pulling out that SMG. It's now we are expecting it, right? Trying to get pushed up, through courtyard and make a play. Well, they read it this time. And KiSMET was the man getting behind them, and HyDra was piecing them up.
Yeah, HyDra getting those openers, but KiSMET is the guy I want to talk to right now because he set the tone in that game number 1. You had people juked out of their shoes. KiSMET, talk to me a little bit about the matchup, not just today, but also yesterday. You guys had to play back-to-back game 5s.
I mean, today we just came in with like a clearer state of mind. Yesterday was unfortunate that we lost. I was battling a headache. It was a rough series. But today I was just happy with overall how we played. I mean, it got a little close, but just happy for the dub.
Talk to me a little bit about the maps, KiSMET. Did you guys make any selections to prepare you for Toronto? You're already locked in for champs, so what are you guys really doing at this point?
I mean, today was more of like, we knew LET was a really good team, so we wanted to just test our like skill, if that makes sense, and not really like go down the route of testing maps. So now that champs is locked in, obviously we want to still make winners, so maybe we'll, you know, go down that route again and test a couple maps, but just fine-tuning certain things, I guess.
Right.
KiSMET 36-28 on HyDra hardpoint is the numbers that you dropped to map 1 of this series. Typically, it's very, very difficult for an SMG to get going on a map like HyDra. It's maybe one of our only more AR-heavy maps in our lineup. What makes you so good as it? What makes you different from the rest of the SMGs in the league?
I mean, like, obviously, I think the biggest thing is just our teamwork on that map right now. It's like, we're setting each other up so well that like it allows me to make those plays, and if we're not setting each other up, I'm not able to make those plays. So like it's basically a lot of kudos to my teammates. If they weren't doing the things they're doing, I wouldn't be able to shine the way I was. So
awesome.
KiSMET, today you guys had a big match, obviously against LA Thieves, and you do it by winning 2 search and destroys and getting the win. What was the preparation like headed into this one? Did you watch a lot of LA Thieves VOD? Because I saw you guys doing some things I wasn't expecting. HyDra sniping left side field off rip, you solo pushing through to yellow. So explain to me the preparation.
we lost yesterday, and we took like 2-hour break, and we went home, and we all got on Discord together to watch over their pods. We probably watched, I don't even know how many S&D maps are there. So we just studied super hard, to, like, see their tendencies, and then surely they came in here and they kind of had mostly the same ones. So we were just super prepared today.
Awesome.
KiSMET, as we close this one out, anything you want to say to the Subliner fans? Is there a chance we see 2 major trophies in the case here for the Subliners this year?
I hope so. But the main first thing is sorry for the heart attack, because I was having one a little bit there. I mean, yeah, obviously we're trying to win. We want to win this next tournament. We want to go to back-to-back for the champs. That's the goal and the dream. We're just going to keep pushing and doing our best for you guys. So appreciate the support.
All right, 1-1 after today's W. We'll let you go celebrate with the team. The Subliners pulling off the upset over the team just 1 place ahead of them in our standings. LA Thieves, before we leave this one, though, are we worried about Kenny right now, Nameless? This seems to be back-to-back matches where Kenny's dropping numbers.
I am not worried about Kylo Ken. That man is a Lanimal. Probably the biggest difference we've seen a player from online to LAN. They will have to clutch up in some of these games, though, in these game 5s, because I do not want to see them have to make that losers run again.
Kylo Ken, got to get back on top of it. I'm ready, LA Thieves fans. Let's take a look back, though, at the beginning of the day. Florida gets a W, and it wasn't easy. You're going up against the 11-seeded LAG, who's on a massive losing streak, but you get the dub in a game 5.
The fact that you just said wasn't easy and then followed that up by 11 seed in that sentence does not make any sense to me. But you're right, it wasn't, because it went to a game 5 once again, mirroring the last time these 2 teams matched up. But instead, it was Florida Mutineers coming out with the W. It was the same map and mode, Embassy Search and Destroy game number 5, but it was Vickle that felt like it really was the difference for me to end up pulling out that W.
Can I just say, nobody played better in this series than the fire extinguisher in the kitchen. It was by far the best play of the series. You know, my big takeaway from this, though, is that Florida still has some fight left in them. They're still going hard. Yeah. They're able to clutch up in a couple of these game 5s, and they're truly trying to make something special happen here and play spoiler. For LAG, Alec Arcees has to focus up and play better in their next outing. That's the guy I'm focused on. He has to be a leader for these guys. He cannot give up.
He's probably the front runner to return as a captain of a squad for 2024, but he has not found success with the Guerrillas yet here in 2023. As we see Florida pick up their win, we were set up for another green squad, the El Clasico. OpTic take it on FaZe. This one, pretty similar to the last one. Another 3-0. OpTic coming out and showing their dominant, what is it now, 9-1 or 10-1? 10-1 in the last 2 years against FaZe.
I mean, on paper with these players, you would think this was going to be a banger of a matchup on the day. And not that it wasn't, just a lot faster than I think a majority of us expected.
Listen, at this point, FaZe just gotta hope they don't have to play OpTic. They need OpTic play somebody else, lose. Like, FaZe are completely compromised against them. On top of that, some of the same problems still lingering in their gameplay. And then today, like, you lose your best search and destroy going up against OpTic as well. So you are mentally compromised to the fullest degree.
All right, so you have Atlanta FaZe now sitting at 1-1. OpTic, the only team to join Toronto at 2-0 as we kick off our first week of qualifiers. Remember, the qualifiers will continue next week and the week after. Here's a look at day 1 of week 2. We've got Guerrillas versus Royal Ravens. Mutineers look to continue scoring against the Boston Breach, and the real story comes up at 6 o'clock. Where is Atlanta FaZe going to be come Toronto in the bracket? Legion's hoping might be in that loser side.
Listen, we're seeing Prime Clay come out. That could be a banger, mate. But I'm excited for Boston Breach in the new look. Vivid's back in the squad. I can't wait to see their outing versus Florida.
All right, big shout out to everyone for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Call of Duty League. We're heading to the bar, but we'll see you next week.
Happy birthday.
Cheers, everybody.
Where I left off, it ain't over. Whole squad on the gravel. All I know, I'm a soldier standing up. Add attention, shake it off. Tell us when to get the trigger. Back to mission, no surrender, just commitment. I see visions, eyes closed, shut, heart monitor going crazy. Met his panicking. Woke up from the stretcher in the reds, removing the bandages. Hopes up, I'ma catch whoever made me suffer these damages. Power level breaking screens, they like, wait, look at them scampering. Rejuvenated, reborn, I'm basically the man again. Made the world stand still, they amazed, frozen like mannequins. Kick the door off the hinges, make waves, someone needs banishing. They ain't think I was able, but I'm came when it come to savageness. I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it. Still got a little fight, I'ma finish it. Still got a little fight, I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it. Still got a little fight, I'ma finish it. Still got a little fight, I'ma finish it. Little this, little that, everyone pulling triggers full of max. Talking PCs cause they full of that. Ain't really G's, they GNATs, they really just next. Scratch them off, power balls. Look at them spinning, they really spin offs. Getting me dizzy, give me a headache, maybe when I tear my head off, I could really use the Tylenol. Candy rappers talking good and plenty, it's really too many to mention, but no, I'm tired of y'all. Such to infinity, you could never be my enemy. You make me look good, I should be hiring y'all. I'm reborn, I'm basically the man again. Make the world stand still, they amazed, frozen like mannequins. Kick the door off the hinges, make waves, someone needs banishing. They ain't think I was able, but I'm came when it come to savageness. I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it, I'ma finish it. Still got a little fight, I'ma finish it. I'ma finish it.
Just got bad.
Top bed in back corner. Back corner.
Back corner.
Good job. Shot 1v2. You can do this.
It is.
Both ARs. Both ARs.
Both ARs.
Okay. You might fly in. Side door. Opened it. Side door. I stunned it. Looking a nade for it. He's hard stunned. Go for the bounce back. One shot. Side door. I got blown up. He's in. He's in. He's in. Wow.
Oh my god. What the f? Yo, let's go, Joe. Let's go, Joe. You fucking beast. Joe, let's go, you beast.